Hello, Hojoz here, and today we are watching the PFC 10 semifinals and finals in a stream version simply because I figured it would be very fun to watch. Why would it be very fun to watch? Well, I figure I have quite a chance to succeed at winning PFC this time. And since I'm in the semifinals with one plane, I thought, why wouldn't it be a very nice opportunity to stream a reaction to this video? I have permission from Jolly Roger Aerospace, so that is not an issue. You don't have to worry about that, and you don't have to report my stream to him. I am fully allowed to do this. Now, I want to start not by starting off the video or by going off in this intro, but I want to start by addressing this comment from Sturmhauke Aerospace Industries, who has an entry in the competition and is in one of the semifinals. He says that was an epic final battle. Thanks for running it, even if I didn't win. Now, I'm not facing him, but that does clue me in that the final battle will be epic, and if he goes and wins a semifinal, it means that if I go and win a semifinal, I win the competition. Kind of a spoiler there, but I'll take it. It's a cool comment though. I really don't mind spoilers in the comments because really you first have to go and scroll down into the comments to see the spoiler. Oh, and by the way, I can't type and uh, and speak at the same time. So while I'm sharing this, so while I am typing out this sharing message on the Jolly Roger Aerospace Discord, you'll have to quickly just bear with me. I mean, you know, real professional streamer stuff. uh, I'm not a professional streamer. If you go towards me and expect professional streaming, that is not going to happen. You are going to be disappointed, really disappointed. There we go. Everything all shared out. Let's start the episode. I've done a test stream beforehand to make sure that the video here doesn't drop any frames while I'm streaming. So hopefully everything will go well.
Hello, Curbliers. I had a really close call the other day. My C drive wouldn't boot and I got a blue screen. Well, after a bit of work and a lot of luck, I figured out that the boot files were corrupted. Threw in my Windows CD and it fixed itself. So we're back and running again. Here is our...
As you can see here, it is Sturmhauke battling BV Flyer, and I am battling Inter. By the way, I'm not battling Inter with Team Mini. I'm battling Inter with Team Pokemon, which is the Charmeleon and the Squirtle. Unless he made a mistake, in which case, thanks, mate. I really do appreciate the mistake. No, I don't. Inter beat Team Mini previously. No, it was actually Sturmhauke I beat Inter with Team Mini previously, but that was his other entry. Anyway, what I'm expecting here is that Sturmhauke will just kill BV Flyer and move on to the final. And I and Inter have a very close fight. find this one difficult to call. However, I still rate Inter more than I rate myself, so perhaps Inter goes to the final, and then Inter wins the competition. That's going to be the prediction. Let's see how wrong I am. I'm usually wrong with these predictions.
Matchups for today. First up is Sturmhawk.
By the way, look at this aircraft. It's a kind of a tiny aircraft because like the engines are here or something here in the middle of the tube frame thing, and that makes this a fairly compact vehicle. But he has so much here at the back end that he can just afford to lose via missile strikes or gun strikes. That is just something worth noting. One missile strike isn't going to kill this one. That's what I've seen in previous episodes. And this base, I mean, it has a goalkeeper, so it will be slightly easier to kill, I presume. At least slightly easier to kill via missiles. Via planes being very close, not so much.
And Sturmhawk will be battling BV Flyer.
And here's BV Flyer's entry. I like to refer to this one as Team Who, because this base right here, you see displayed right here, this is called the Dalek, BV Dalek. So obviously it gets the Doctor Who nickname. The plane here is called the Foxbat, but I mean, deserves the nickname. It also has a goalkeeper, but if I can see that correctly, it also has 2 cruise missiles. So I kind of fear for your bases, Sturmhauken. This one has 2 jammers at the wingtips. I mean, it's kind of a vulnerable position. I'd usually just leave them in the center of the hull. What is smart about this base, though, is that it's separated into 2 things. Which means that, I would presume at least, the missiles would come close to, well, that ablator shield right there, that heat shield, instead of coming close to either the missile deployer, the missile turret, or the rest. Yeah, this is just called the rest, okay?
With the Foxbat and the Daleks.
Round 1, fight.
Okay, Kerbaliers, here we go. We're starting out on the side of the Wyvern.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot the plane's name. It's a Wyvern, and the base called the Manticore Tower. I completely forgot that. I actually legitimately forgot the name.
The Wyvern's going on defense and pulling back behind the bases.
Yep. Does look like it. Notice that the Wyvern has harms equipped. Could be very good missiles for attacking bases. At least that's my experience.
Wyvern drops a couple of harms. It's attacking the bases early. The Wyvern switches to the AIM-120s and is now going after the Foxbats.
It decided to go for the bases.
Also have defensive fire from the Manticores.
Manticore putting down some fire to get those 2 cruise missiles destroyed. At least I presume that those are cruise missiles.
That's 2 misses on the Manticores. There's 2 more inbound missiles. Oh, one's destroyed.
That's
the
lucky.
Other one gets through, and it does some damage to the Manticore.
The other does some damage. Okay. You must. Looks like we're back in the game. I was just commenting on that JRA seems to be commentating a lot, and that makes my commentating thing a bit hard, you know. So yeah, that's what I was commentating on. I was commenting on. I don't know how much the stream was loading there, but I was going to presume that wasn't that much. I mean, not much happened. Manticore got a little bit damaged, but apart from that, I guess we can just continue.
Another inbound missile from the Daleks.
One of the Daleks is down now. Okay, you're just going to check my stream again. Yeah, the stream is still fine. One of the Daleks is down, so PFC has an issue right now.
Oh, that was really close. And one of the Daleks was destroyed at the same time.
Indeed, close missile there.
Incoming missile from the other Dalek. Oh!
Takes damage.
We have confetti.
That's a Wyvern down. It's for sure it's down.
And one of the Foxbats just got destroyed.
One of BF's airplanes, Foxbat, got destroyed, so it's not looking that good for BF right now. It's 2 against 4 things in the air and alive. So of course one of the Wyverns is pretty much dead. But it is still a viable target for
Missile away from the Wyvern. And he's following up with gunfire.
Youch!
Oh!
There
Foxbat
goes
is
the last
toast.
airplane.
Wyvern switching to harms and launching at the bases.
Just a Dalek remaining.
Incoming missile from the Dalek. Oh, only a few parts
Takes some
lost.
damage, that Wyvern. But
Wyvern
as I
seems
said,
to be okay though.
pretty resistant. Oh! Did it just destroy itself with its own missile?
Oh, delayed reaction, sudden explosion.
I think it just destroyed itself with its own missile. I mean, very rip, much wow.
Now we just have the bases left. Looks like we have 2 functioning manticores.
So here, BF loses of course, since he has less things alive.
Yep, both functioning.
Take a quick sip.
And that's debris, and there's 1 Dalek left. Stormhawk wins the first round.
As I said, BF loses.
Round
So 1
2.
nil.
Fight.
This time we're with the Foxbats, and the planes are making their turns. Let's see what happens.
They immediately fire 120s.
Foxbat is firing its AIM 120s.
2 of them. You can see here the instability in the aircraft. This is why I don't rate this Foxbat that much.
Manticore bases are firing missiles.
First missiles coming in then, on the Dalek there. The Foxbat, I'm sorry. Looks like none in the first salvo hit, including the cruise missiles, although they could still be on their way.
Foxbat switching to AIM 9s.
The close range 9s coming out, except they're 8 kilometers away, so that's not close range at all. I usually only use 9s for 5 kilometers and closer.
And Manticore bases are firing defensively. Foxbat's showing a bit of instability, or maybe...
Yeah, this is exactly what I mean with the instability in the Foxbat. It's been doing this every battle it has done.
It's just dancing.
Has at least had 1 flat spin in each video.
Okay, you two, I think you're just having entirely too much fun dancing around out here.
Yeah, I mean, it's premature victory celebrations, isn't it?
Dalek destroyed.
One of the Daleks goes down, presumably by the way of a cruise missile. Although, of course, the Manticores don't have cruise missiles, so there has been a harm fired there somewhere.
Watch out for that.
Yeah, that's dead. That's very much dead. Rip, you aren't going to survive for much longer. Please get an F in the chat.
Miss. Oh. Foxbat
There we go.
confetti. Let's switch to the other Foxbat.
However, the pilot and weapon manager are still alive, so it's still a viable target for the Wyverns. Some lag, and one of the Wyverns has crashed. Not sure what went on there with that Wyvern, but for sure it had some issues. Perhaps a missile strike. I can't really see that airplane just running itself into the ground all by its own. Yeah, this is very much dead.
And the other Daleks destroyed.
It's just the Foxbat remaining. Yeah, this is going to be a 2-0, isn't it? I'll say GG to Sturmhauke. You've won the semis. You've won your own semi. Let's see how you do in the final.
It's just this one Foxbat.
F in chat for Beefy, by the way. That's a bit close there. Of course, just one Wyvern remaining, but both the Manticores are alive, so even if the Wyvern gets gunned down or missiled down, the Foxbat still has no chance to survive anymore.
Where the hell is that missile going?
The AIM-9 is actually targeting the sun. I learned this a few days ago in an actual IRL weapons video that AIM-9s can actually target the sun if there is no hot or heat source available near them. I found that very interesting, but I don't know if BDAC actually models that.
Missiles coming in from the Wyvern. Can he
Oh,
evade? No, direct hit. And a second direct hit. We have confetti again.
Ouch. Yeah. Foxbat really had no chance there. The only thing it could do is just avoid all the missiles it had coming at him.
Sturmhawk wins the second round. It's now 2-0. Let's go to the third.
Notice how Sturmhauke didn't lose a Wyvern this time.
Round 3. Fight.
Guess that's just some luck.
We're back on board with the Wyvern. Let's see how it goes this round.
Third round then. Wyverns again insisting on using harms first. I mean, it is a good strategy using harms first, because launching 120s at 8 kilometers or 6 kilometers, it doesn't really make a difference. Whereas launching harms first and then launching your AIM 120s, it still makes the enemy dodge. Well, unless you have to dodge first, of course.
Wyverns flying defensively again, staying behind their bases.
Now, that didn't come as close as I expected.
Manticores firing defensively. Looks like missiles incoming.
Manticores firing on the cruisers. These are gonna hit.
One missile destroyed, the other gets through and misses.
No damage
More
yet.
defensive fire and 2 more
More
missiles. One destroyed, the other might get through.
A little bit hard to keep up here, but we'll make do. Nothing is destroyed yet. Everything's still
Wyverns
fine
are
with
now
our
coming around
released. I'm sorry, Jerry, for interrupting you.
for their attack.
Wyverns on the attack, yes.
Sending a few.
Deploying the harms first again. Okay, the Fox Bat is 10 kilometers out, so I would do the same. But I just find this interesting. I want to cling on onto this one. This is just an excellent piece of strategy, an excellent piece of tactics.
Few harms first, then switches to aim 120s and then aim 9s, and now back to harms again.
It's frantically pushing all buttons, firing everything, and not knowing what to do apparently, because it just switched from harms to 120s to 9s to harms. Yeah. Prioritize your targets.
It can't make up its mind. It's shooting everything.
It might just work. Missile to the left there. Could just hit. It looks to be coming close. Went under. That's unfortunate. Note here that now this Wyvern is closer to the 2 bases than to any of the Fox Bats. Okay, that Fox Bat there to the left is 4.6 kilometers, but I don't see that closing on this Wyvern. So, obviously at first it will be prioritizing the bases. That Fox Bat to the left could be trying to flank him. Just watch out for that play.
Wyvern switches back to aim 9s and is going after the Fox Bats.
Yeah. This is a very fairly intelligent move from the AI. By the way, both the Daleks are dead now.
Both Daleks are destroyed. It's just the 2 Fox Bats left.
Woo! Came close. Did anyone see that missile coming in? I think it was to our right
Here
and
comes some gunfire from the Fox Bat.
Fox Bat coming in with gunfire. Come on. Get your own guns on target. Oh, it's a missile? No. That's hit. And quite possibly dead. So one of the Fox Bats is most certainly disabled.
Let's check on the other Wyvern.
Oh.
And it's going down.
Yeah, that's
Looks like one of the Fox Bats.
That was the damaged Fox Bat, wasn't it? With just one remains.
Was hit.
If that wasn't the damaged, it wasn't the damaged Fox Bat. They've lost 3-0. Nicely done, Sturmhauke.
Yes, it's hit and it's going down. It lost all of its engines. PV Flyer has.
Oh, I thought that wasn't the hit one because it was an entire parts cloud. And that didn't look like there was supposed to be a parts cloud coming off it. So I guess it's still one of the Fox Bats alive, but it's only a matter of time before this one's dead as well.
One remaining Fox Bat.
Raider cries
The
easy,
Wyvern
so it
seems
has to
determined
switch
to
to
take
9.
out the Fox Bat that was damaged.
Yeah, and this is what I mean by still being a viable target. You just saw the 9 going towards the disabled Fox Bat because it still has its weapon manager and pilot, so it's still a viable target for the missile and for the AI. Meanwhile, the Manticores are firing 1 or 2 missiles towards the other Fox Bat that's still alive. At least that's what I thought I saw. Okay, That Foxbat still has its turrets alive, so we shouldn't quite take it out of the question yet. It's gonna still try to lock with 9s, but the thing is, you aren't gonna lock with 9s if there are no engines. Nicely done, mate. Of course, the AI doesn't know that, but we know it, and it's very fun to do a 2020 hindsight on this one.
Wyvern looks like it's firing its last aim 9s, and it switches to the harms.
It actually locks. GG. Another missile there coming for the Foxbat.
And switches to the
right.
M230s.
That one's dead. There we go.
Yay, you killed the damaged Foxbat.
And now
you
it
have
only
one
has to
remaining.
turn. It only has to turn towards the other Foxbat, and basically, the job's already done. If I'm honest with you.
Whoops, there's still pieces left. And the Wyvern firing in the distance, switching back to it.
It is still concentrating on the downed Foxbat. See, I'd like to get this fixed, but it probably can't be fixed, so I don't complain about it at all.
And yes, you killed the dying plane.
You killed the dying plane. Well put there. It's a bit overkill.
Now go after the one that can still fight.
Oh, by the way, very much pun intended. Going within guns range closely now. Doesn't have any missiles left, I believe. There we go.
Switches to
1600
M230s,
meters.
it's in close range. Foxbat's firing back.
Oh, it might actually get something off the Wyvern here.
Ooh, part lost. Nothing major.
Okay, here's where the spread of the guns for Sturmhauke is hampering him. He doesn't have a rearward facing M230, which would basically mean coverage all round. I tended to ensure that, especially with Charmeleon, I had coverage all round. Pretty much all round, because I don't really have any coverage on the top back, I believe.
Foxbat still tagging the Wyvern. Wyvern holding up.
This is, I believe, also the issue the ZBZ had. It also had forward-facing guns, in which case these were Vulcans. But again, if you just had sacrificed one of the Vulcans and put an M230 out back, could have performed better, I may show, in my honest opinion. It does have a bit of coverage to the back, but it doesn't have all the coverage that it needs to the back. Which is why it took that damage without even firing.
Wyvern firing the rear cannons.
Yep. It's now concentrating on trying to down it, but
Taking
it's gonna
fire.
get down first, sure.
Firing again. Taking more fire.
Cool battle this.
It's missing more parts now.
No shit, Sherlock.
Can it beat this Foxbat?
Yeah.
Wyvern.
What is smart though is that all 4 of the M230s are now facing forward. That means maximum firepower for the aircraft.
Bearing down with its front guns. Ooh, it's taking parts. It's doing damage. Foxbat's not giving up. It's firing back.
By the way, I have a theoretical best PFC plane I want to build. Let me know if you're interested in that. By placing a comment if you're watching the replay. Or by placing it in chat right now, the live chat of course.
The Manticore's firing defensively, trying to shoot down those missiles. Looks like one Manticore's destroyed.
They are putting a tremendous amount of effort into getting this remaining Foxbat downed. I'm quite honestly surprised by how much effort they have to put in here.
The other Manticore's firing at the Foxbat.
Yeah, now that goalkeeper's helping, of course.
Not very accurate, though.
Yeah, indeed, it's not very accurate. if it was accurate, the goalkeeper would help in the fact that it has 30mm rounds and 360 coverage, which for anti-air that's good, but for anti-missile not so good apparently. Even though the goalkeeper is designed to be anti-missile, very dumb detail. I don't get it either.
Wyvern's bearing down on
With
the
that
Fox
max
bat
gun
with all 4
coverage.
guns.
Looks like the other Wyvern has finally died to the hands of one of the Fox Bat's missiles. You can see my point here again. You can see that you can see the Fox Bat firing out back towards the Wyvern. It has better back coverage as far as I can judge it from here.
Starting to do damage.
Yep, that's it. That
Another
surely.
puff.
That's out of
Oh,
control.
Foxbat firing back.
It's so dead.
And takes another hit.
That doesn't have any engines
Both
anymore,
planes
should
trying to maneuver to get a good shot.
It does. One of them, probably. Okay, now the Foxbat's firing back, of course. Again, back gun coverage would have saved you here. Would have meant that you could fire earlier. Why do I insist on using back gun coverage so much? Because I do it. I sacrifice front gun coverage for back gun coverage. I thoroughly believe in that method of doing combat to turrets.
Took out the engines on the Foxbat. It's slowly going down, but it's trying to fight.
Yeah, you can't fault it for trying to fight. It's trying to show how tough of a plane it is when it doesn't have to dodge missiles.
And that's the end of the Foxbat. Sturmhawk wins
3-0. 3-0 then. Final battle was a bit hard, but gotta give it to Sturmhawk here. Put together a good plane. The Foxbat, well, it's a bit too overmaneuverable perhaps. I didn't have a look at the targeting ball, so I don't know how it was on yaw range, on yaw coverage, but I mean, wasn't it obvious that it was the inferior plane to begin with?
Semi-final round and moves on to the finals with a score of 3-0. For the second,
here we have my team. It's Charmeleon and Squirtle. I still very much like that Dutch flag beneath Squirtle. I don't believe that it's deployed in battle, but could be wrong there. Also note that I'm also using 2 cruise missiles per Squirtle. And here my Charmander doesn't look to have back coverage, but that's because my M230 for back coverage is underneath, which is why I said that I don't have back top coverage specifically.
second semifinal match, we have Hojoz and Team Pokemon, and his competitor is...
Here's Inter with a Scaltrop. Now, note that again, this base is very much spread apart, whereas I have a one component base. Theoretically, this base should be better than mine, honestly. Then again, he's also using a goalkeeper, which, not that good on range. Also doesn't look like he has any cruise missiles. So I can't take my bases out from a distance. Also more things to note. He pretty much only has... Does he only have 120s fitted? I'm sorry, mate, but that's just not gonna work. Okay, it does have a little bit of aim 9. But I would have put... I would have put, honestly, 2 120s and the rest 9s. And then as far as anti-base goes, I only have Hellfires equipped. Pretty much only because I only have experience with Hellfires. Harms would have probably been better, but Then again, that could also weigh the plane down because Hellfires are smaller, should therefore be lighter. Entire story. I could go on with that for hours, but let's just watch the match because that's what we're here for.
Enter with the flying caltrops and 4 hills.
Round 1, fight.
Looks like we're on bars with me first.
Okay, for the first round, we're going to start off with the Charmeleons. All planes have made their turns, and we're into the battle.
You can already note the instability on yaw there. I should fix that for the next generation. This also has a tendency to lose a lot of airspeed when turning. I should also fix that next generation.
Charmeleon fires first with the AIM 120s and switches to the AIM 9s.
But then again, it is very nice to at least know what's wrong with my plane. I've had some issues where I don't even know what's wrong with my plane in previous PFCs.
Incoming missiles from the caltrops, and they are a miss.
Dodged by a lot. Also note that I'm using 2 ECMs in the Charmeleon and 1 in the Squirtle. I am blocking like crazy.
At center screen, you can see the cruise missiles heading towards the 4 hill bases.
Those cruise missiles hopefully going to do some damage. Fingers crossed. More 9s. Gotta love the close 9s. Although this is 6 kilometers out, it looks like I didn't limit my 9s for this one.
Out more AIM 9s.
But then again, I wasn't intending on being competitive at all. That's the funny side of this. I wasn't even intending on being competitive. I'm in the semis.
And a cruise missile takes out one of the 4 hills.
4 hills dead. Other 4 hills. It's fine. Looks like the 4 cruise missiles targeted the same 4 hills. 1 cruise missile per hill, I guess. By the way, if the coverage of my plane is going to be very one-sided, that's because I am. I am very one-sided biased towards my own planes, although I do tend to underestimate them simply because if I overestimate them, I'm going to be very, very disappointed. That was a poof on the Charmeleon there.
Close calls there, but the Charmeleon's still flying and still firing.
More 9s. Very close range.
Charmeleon on the left, firing on the caltrops with its guns. Let's switch to it.
It's dodging. You gotta give it to it. I'm very happy with the dodging on this aircraft. Looks like gun's gonna do something. Please just do something, mate.
Charmeleon changing targets and heading for the other caltrops.
Okay then.
Which is engaged in
interesting choice to switch to the other caltrop. Of course, your teammates being completely and utterly annihilated by it, so makes sense.
Melee with the other Charmeleon.
By the way, I'm saying completely and utterly annihilated because I'm seeing some poofs there. Could be just chaff that's firing though. Caltrop got away. So it's time for the close 9s. There we go. I do love me some close 9s.
AIM 9s away. Switching back to the first Charmeleon.
Gunfire and 9s. Come on, man. Gotta do something. There we go.
Caltrops down, and right after, a Charmeleon is down.
Ah, damn it. Damn it. Other Charmeleon focused too much on the caltrop that is now downed. And therefore it got assaulted by the other caltrop, which it ignored beforehand. AI mistake. Could put it down to chance. Or putting it down to chance would mean that you rate your aircraft very much. And I don't, really.
The first Charmeleon is taking it personal, and it's heading after the caltrops.
Of course it's personal. What if the Charmeleon's just fucking dead? Mate. Okay, that Squirtle's down. If it even is a Squirtle, by the way. Well, that's very close. Don't have any bottom coverage. So much for going on about coverage for the entirety of your plane. If your plane doesn't have bottom coverage, makes you look like a bit of a hypocrite, doesn't it?
Caltrop's coming around and it's firing.
Yeah,
missile
nicely
strike
done.
and fire at the same time.
Nicely done. GG. Should have turned faster there.
All that's left is the 2 Squirtles.
Now it's up to Squirtles. Squirtles, by the way, are carrying 9s for the rest of air defense instead of cruise missiles or 120s. Missiles fired towards Squirtles. Should equip the anti-30s to deal with this threat. Doesn't.
That's 1 Squirtle.
Classic. It's focused on trying to engage the Caltop with 9s, which the turret isn't even rotating. I don't know why the turret is rotating. Not rotating, by the way. Doesn't make any sense to me. The same issue. I have the same issue with the Mini. Actually, no idea why it's not turning.
Squirtle destroyed. It's just this one left.
It's probably going to be
Incoming
dead here.
missile. And this Squirtle is
Precisely.
destroyed. Yeah, it's not looking too healthy over here.
So that's the Caltrops
Squirtles
win.
must still have their weapons manager because the Caltrops is still firing missiles.
That's the weapons manager. I'm not expecting anything from it because I'm assuming that the anti-30s are down. Furthermore,
Coming
he's
around.
coming in from the back of the Squirtle, which doesn't have any anti-30 coverage.
For another pass.
If you think that I'm tense right now, kinda am, simply because he's now on an advantage. Not fired.
Caltrops fires an aim 9.
Here's a 9. K. KK. Works though.
With that destroyed, Inter wins the first round. Let's go to round 2.
I didn't expect that one. Didn't know that 9s were
Round
able
2.
to
Fight.
be
This
fired
round will be
first.
following the Caltrop.
Anyway, 1-0 then. Time to take another drink. Bit of the dry mouth thing going on. Not looking too well for me then. Let's not get too depressive though. I mean, Inter get revenge on me if he wins. I being my first final. Either way, the outcome of this battle is going to be good.
As the planes begin their turn, we're ready for this battle. Aim 120s away.
120s.
Also on the right side of the screen, the Squirtles have fired their cruise missiles.
Cruise missiles away. 120s on the Charmeleons away as well. Caltop surely sure is good at dodging here. It's not gonna make it. It did. Nicely done there, Charmeleon.
That's the 4 cruise missiles crossing in the middle of the screen.
One missile closing on this Caltrop.
On the left, the 4 hills are firing at the cruise missiles. This Caltrop
Misses
is
by a
heading
mile.
toward the Charmeleons, the other one's already engaged.
Still nothing in terms of damage on the Charmeleons. 120 fired, interesting choice.
Caltrop's closing in and switches to guns.
Nearly hits as well. Okay then, Charmeleon, guns. Doesn't seem to care.
Taking fire from a Charmeleon, it switches
Tonks.
targets. Now it's
Thanks,
evading.
yeah, there it goes. Come on, get some hits on.
The second
Oh,
Caltrops seems to have
Caltrop
taken some
probably hit
damage.
by missile here.
This Caltrops is still evading Charmeleon gunfire.
Charmeleon not looking that accurate. You'd say that it would be accurate since it has turrets, so it can aim precisely, but it can't apparently. Other
Gunfire
Caltrops over there.
everywhere. And, oh, close miss from a missile.
I think it fired a missile. Apparently it was a close miss.
Four Hills firing on the Charmeleon.
Now the Charmeleon has to dodge from Four Hills. Four Hills has a better missile things than I do since... no, again, I don't know what it is, but Squirtle doesn't seem to be able to fire missiles or turn its turret. Or why?
Caltrops going into a dive after the Charmeleon.
Who's very close? Very close miss.
Caltrops on the guns, and
And
that's a dead
that's dead.
Charmeleon.
However, gonna turn for that ground first. While
Wait,
Squirtle's
no,
dead.
don't. Oh, and a
I call
Caltrop
it.
suicide.
Called it. Called it.
We still have one Caltrops, well, sort of flying. It's helicoptering its way down. Two Squirtles
dead
left.
again.
Let's see if he can make it down safely. Or at
Charmeleon's
least
dead.
with the copy.
So this is 2-0. Surely. No idea what happened to the other Charmeleon.
The Caltrops cockpit and pilot survived. We have a Charmeleon here and one Squirtle. On the other side we have the
It's 2-0,
Caltrops
so
and the
surely.
two Four Hills surviving. Enter wins, it's 2-0.
Round
Sure
3.
is an interesting
Fight.
way to have to conclude
For the
these
third
battles.
round we're
So if I don't win this one, I'm dead. If I do win this one, it's probably going to be postponed suffering.
following the Charmeleons. The planes have come around and
Gotta love my pessimism, by the way.
they're beginning their attacks.
Perhaps I should have limited those 9s to something like 5k, so that it now would be focusing on getting Hellfires off towards the Four Hills. I could literally just treat this as a design notes video. And probably I'm going to. First missiles flying towards the Four Hills.
Center
again.
screen, you can see the Squirtle's cruise missiles heading towards the Four Hills.
Probably only targeted the same Four Hills again. I mean, I got a
Four
sense
Hills
of
firing on the cruise missiles.
9 firing. It's missed by a mile. I think even hits another 9.
That's one Four Hills hit.
Gotta be honest here.
And
Gotta be honest here. Charmeleon is inferior in terms of gun firing towards Caltrop. I would love that gun layout he has.
a double tap. Charmeleon's coming around on the Caltrops.
Has to dodge though. That's really gonna hit. Didn't. Nice. Feels nice, man. Another 9 coming in. Firing
Charmeleon firing its close range aim 9s.
9. He's even picked on my tactic. Indeed, it's a close range. Love them. Oh, is that dead? Yep, it is.
And that's a Caltrops destroyed. Charmeleon on
I
the
have 2-1
guns.
advantage.
Now it's turning away.
That's dead, no? Dodge the missile.
Incoming missile
Now
from
missile coming
Four
in is dead.
Hills. Oh, direct hit. Now
Notice how the Charmeleons are not even giving a shit about dodging from the bases because they are entirely focused on the planes.
we're with the other Charmeleon.
Both the Squirtles are still up. So that is at least a nice sign. It's gonna dodge this
We got
one.
missiles missing on both sides.
Missiles have missed. Surely it won't be long before we have to go on guns only here. I still find 120s. Why did you turn into the 120?
Oh, close explosion and all the Charmeleon's missiles are gone.
Okay, so it lost every non-essential bit. The center of mass is probably fucked now.
And some of its guns.
Maybe some for guns? I can still see the two top guns mounted, so... What you can immediately notice though is that it's a bit more maneuverable. It also... Just look at that. That's not going to dodge another one. It's entirely dependent on its... Yeah, here we go.
Incoming missile, and it's a direct...
It was entirely dependent on its flares.
hit. We have Charmeleon confetti.
It was entirely dependent on its flares.
Incoming missiles, and that's one.
Again, why do they not just switch to the M230s? Surely that's the better approach to take here.
Squirtle destroyed. One Squirtle.
And also, again, the missile turret not swiveling. Anyway, I've lost now.
Squirtle left to go. Caltrops on the guns.
I quite literally don't get why the gun turret isn't swiveling.
And that's the Squirtle.
The gun turret, wow, the gun turret. Why the missile turret isn't swiveling.
Destroyed.
If it did swivel, it did have a chance of getting that Caltrop to dodge. However, this is a 3-0. However, it doesn't really reflect the battle, does it? Now, the Charmander should have dodged better. I should have taken a 5-kilometer max range on the 9s. And Squirtle just grabs Squirtle since it doesn't really seem to be bothered about swiveling his missile turret.
Inter wins with his Caltrops and 4 hills. He is moving on to the final.
So, Inter wins, GG. I call that correct. And that's essentially because I, at the very beginning of the live stream, just jinxed myself by saying that Inter would win, but I'm usually wrong on predictions, which is why I just double jinxed myself.
It's 3-0.
Also, perhaps should have used more cruise missiles on the Squirtle, since all the cruise missiles seem to be focused on 4 hills.
For the final match, we have Sturmhawk and Inter's Odyssey
So this one's
with
been
the
spoiled.
Caltrops and 4 hills.
Round 1, fight.
For the first round, we're following the Wyverns as the planes turn into battle.
Again, using the harms first. By the way, just a note. None of the planes in the finals have cruise missiles. None of the entries in the finals have cruise missiles. And that is entirely because the bases that had cruise missiles failed, and the planes failed as well. Also note that none of them have the OP laser turret, quite simply because I didn't pick up on it, otherwise I would have fitted it as well. Didn't think that would be quite OP, or that would even be useful. But yeah, I mean, Inter wins this one. Gotta be honest, would like revenge, but you can't get it. Unless Inter watches the stream and then realizes, oh, gotta send the plane to him. But that's not gonna happen. And still, if he does, then I have to turn up with an entry that beats him, which, no. That's not gonna happen.
Countermeasures are out, and
I was close though. I gotta say I was close though.
missiles are away.
Both planes were also using experimental countermeasure layouts for the flares. Although the funny thing, the 120s got it. Not the 9s. Still don't know why he was firing 120s all the way up until 2.5 kilometers, but it was effective. Missile settings? What are those missile settings? I have to modify to explode at 7 instead of 10.
There's some close missile fire, and the 4 hills are joining in. More missiles coming, and they're just a bit outside. Wyvern switching to harm missiles, looking to attack the bases.
It's just switching between harms and 120s. Does a harm salvo, a harm fails. Does a 120 salvo, 120 fails. Does a 9 does a harm salvo, and so on and so on until it has nothing left and has guns. Or the situation changes.
And it has to turn and evade.
Exactly as I said, situation changed now.
Let's switch back to the first Wyvern. Inbound missiles on the caltrops. Oh! And the second one
Yeah, that's not going to be dodged.
connects. Caltrops down.
It's actually a
And
caltrop.
the second Wyvern takes a missile. It's destroyed.
Oh wow, it's literally an eye for an eye within seconds.
Yep, only a
Really missile dodging seems to be very essential here.
couple of pieces left of the Wyvern. Back to the first Wyvern. The Manticores are getting into the fight. This Wyvern is evading and pulling back behind its bases to let them do some work. Looks like the Wyvern's coming around to start an attack.
Not very accurate goalkeepers here.
One of the 4 hills launches a missile, and it's a direct hit. We have Wyvern confetti.
If it hit at the back, would have been fine. If it hit at the front, if it has a broker, would have been fine. But nope, it hit in the middle.
It's just the 2 Manticore bases left. Switching to the Caltrops, and it looks like the Caltrops is a bit beat up too.
That would have been a missile hit, surely. Okay, I should also admit the Caltrop is more survivable. As Inter said, he engineered them more like gunfighters, and gunfighters are usually very survivable.
Damaged Caltrops is evading.
I usually engineer them as, well, this is maneuverable. It's good enough, I suppose. I don't know how to do survivability at all.
Caltrops is coming around for an attack.
Pretty much the exact same scenario as we had last time out, when I was battling the Caltrop. Funny.
It's coming close and then pulls away at the first sign of gunfire.
Ooh, it's scary, pants. It is scared. Come on, mate, just brave the gunfire. You aren't going to do anything if
Looks
you
like
turn away
it's
from
trying to
it.
get some distance before it turns and makes another run.
Yeah, usually tend to fly to 4 or 5 kilometers before engaging again.
Let's switch to the Manticore.
Manticore not even interested. There it goes.
Manticores are firing. And the Caltrops is firing back.
Now that's dead, surely. And fires naked. On both sides.
No damage on either side from that run.
Come on, guys! Accurate gunfire is very essential.
Caltrops circling
Are you going to
around.
pick up on your missile turret now? Or is that not a priority? Apparently not a priority. You know what? I could also just continue the live stream after this, just separate it out into 2 live streams, and then go and construct the possibly ultimate PFC 10 lane. At least how I view it. Could do that.
Four Hills just sitting there waiting for something to happen. Caltrops is coming in at
I mean, there is someone else watching with me here, but simply no reaction, so possibly not even interested.
high speed, and the Manticores are firing. Caltrops firing as well.
Come on. Accurate gunfire on one side, please. Yep, I heard an explosion. Explosion.
Damage on the Manticore. It's still firing.
What is
Switching back to the
damage?
Caltrops.
That looks fine.
Caltrops has no missiles, but it still has plenty of ammo for the M230s.
I should pay attention more to that double wing design of Inter. It tends to have kind of armor like that. You could say that it's armor.
This Manticore looks like it lost its radar. It may be inactive. We'll see on the next pass.
I mean, radar doesn't specifically mean that it's inactive, but it could be. I mean, it could still pick up on
I
something
was wrong.
inside.
It's still active.
See, there we go. It just sees the plane, then it fires on it. Come on. Come on!
Once again, no damage on that pass.
Steering wheel!
Caltrops coming around for another pass.
Gloves and steering wheel. Someone give them to me. Reference zone probably nobody gets.
The Manticores are firing.
Yikes. Come on, guys. Oh, yeah. Hit on the hit on the Inter.
Caltrops is just evading.
Hit on the Inter, it's still flying.
Oh, there's a couple shots from the Caltrops.
A bit of gunfire off even. Come on, guys.
You're in pretty rough shape there,
Waiting.
buddy, and this is only the first round.
I'm waiting.
Caltrops coming around for another run. Let's see if it can do some damage this time.
Have a look at the liquid fuel. 10 units, 9 units, 8 units, 7 units, 6 units.
Switching over to the Manticore.
4, 3, 2, 1. Out of fuel, probably right now.
Manticores are firing.
And there it goes, out of fuel.
Caltrops returning
Can't leave him
fire.
with the boss.
And it looks like the other Manticore might have been disabled. There's no more gunfire
Stalling
coming from
now.
inside.
Should be
Yep,
an easy
it's
target for the
disabled.
remaining
No
Manticore.
response from it at all.
Manticore has an hour.
Caltrops is trying to do more
Wow.
damage, but you're shooting the wrong one.
Exactly, shooting the wrong one. It's still a target, that's what I'm going on about.
Let's switch over to the Caltrops. Oh, it's out of fuel. And it's starting to take fire.
You of course you start to take fire. You're way easier targets when you're out of fuel and not making maneuvers. It's gonna land and still fire. I mean, if it does that, then it's an absolute legend.
Well, you lost your wings, your guns, and a few other things, but you landed
We're
safely.
still rolling. It wins. So because
Let's
the
check
fact
on the
it's still
four
alive.
hills. Yep, they're still sitting here waiting for something to happen. There's one surviving Manticore, the other one is disabled. Yeah, and it's looking pretty beat up now. So, with damage done, I have to give this to Enter. The Caltrops and the Four Hills win this round, and what a long round it was. It's 1-0.
Round 2.
At
Fight.
this point, I'm just happy that I beat
Well, that
one
was
of
a
his entries
long
in the
first round.
qualifiers.
Here for the second round, we're with the Caltrops. The planes are making their turns, and they're firing their first missiles.
120's away. Oh no, don't damage
Whoa,
yourself.
explosions on both Caltrops while they're launching their missiles. I hope that wasn't anything important.
I mean, the missiles are within your two wing halves. Not expecting an explosion is dumb.
Caltrops lining up their attack, and another volley of missiles are away. Incoming missiles, that's a miss, and that's a miss. Another
Very
one coming
close,
in,
though.
and that's a miss as well. Caltrops firing missiles in
These
return.
missiles are very close.
More missiles coming in. The countermeasures are doing their jobs. The Caltrops are staying together as they evade. There's two missiles at the bottom of the screen. The Four Hills are in the game now. Now the Caltrops are splitting up.
Going all the way of Interf in terms of tactics.
Oh, Wyvern down.
Definitely going the way of Inter now.
Caltrops has a lock with the Harm, and Harm's away.
I wonder where that name comes from. What is a Caltro?
Four Hills still launching missiles. Inbound missiles from the Manticores. First one goes by, second one, the Caltrops didn't get out of its blast zone. It loses some parts and it's in
It's not
trouble.
going to be able to fly with one
Switching to
engine.
the other Caltrops, let's see how it's doing.
Sometimes it's so engineered to do that, but
Back to the first one, and
Not
it's
this
slowly
one.
spiraling its way down. Four Hills look to be in
Yeah,
good
that's
shape.
right.
We're back to the undamaged Caltrops. While that was happening, a Wyvern was destroyed and the Manticore was destroyed. The Caltrops is zeroing in on the
Uh-oh.
other Manticore
one
right now.
Manticore-
Let's see
Man,
if it
one
can take it
Manticore
out.
left.
Harm missiles have been launched. Incoming missile from the Manticore. It's
Ouch.
on target. Oh, close detonation, and it shreds the Caltrop.
Very nicely on target there. Very
And the
nice.
Manticore was taken out by that last missile that the Caltrops fired.
But,
Ooh,
I
pretty
mean-
smoke pattern.
I mean, everything on that chart is still alive. They both taken hits, but they managed to take out the entirety of Sturmhauke's team without losing anything in terms of weapon manager and AI pilot. Rather spectacular.
That's the cockpit of the other Caltrops. Was. Back to the first Caltrop, still spinning. Four Hills, as usual, waiting for something to happen. I just realized Inter's doing a tribute to Hojoz, doing the perfect fidget spinner.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for the tribute. Appreciate it. Would like to battle you with another entry. Come PFC 11, hopefully. I mean, PFC 10, it wasn't to be, but 2 PFCs in a row being in the semifinals with 1 aircraft, I'm satisfied with that.
That pilot's gotta be wicked dizzy by now.
No, mate, the pilot has since evacuated the plane. As soon as it was shot down, it's evacuated plane. It ran off, went with the parachute, but nobody actually noticed that.
Okay, I'll give you a hand and shut down your engines for you. That way you can just helicopter down nice and easy. Okay, set it down nice and gentle.
Here's the thing, though. Because you shut off that engine, it could create less lift with the helicoptering, and thus it fell down harder, and it's gonna explode now.
Nice.
Didn't explode.
So, little bounce, small poof, but you're okay.
I gotta say, man, I underestimated the Caltrop. Both its semi-final and its final have been close, in terms of the fact that sometimes they've been hit. So it hasn't really been easy for them. But nonetheless, they are winning. I really underestimated them.
Alright, you landed. Good job. Inter wins this round. It's 2-0.
Look at that turret there, in the middle of the screen. It's doing a little bit of dance.
Let's go to the third round.
See these turrets? They're celebrating. See? Look at that celebratory dance there.
Round 3, fight.
Cute.
For the
Righty
third
then.
round,
Final round. Let's make this quick for Sturmauke.
we're back on board with the Wyverns. All the planes are turning in and beginning their attacks. The Wyvern's looking to attack the bases. It's set up on its harms. Switching back to AIM 120s, it's ready to do battle with the Caltrops. Switching back to the harms, and there's one away, and its
Good.
wingman shoots another harm missile. Wyvern switches back to the AIM 120s.
This is actually going to the ground. I'm surprised. Wow, close. Wow, close. Barely avoiding is still avoiding.
Close miss from the Caltrops, AIM 9 away, it's switching to the harms again. And that was 2 missiles from the Four Hills bases, barely missing.
Nice luck there. Very nicely done.
Four Hills firing a missile at the other Wyvern. That's a miss.
No.
And another close call on the Wyvern. Incoming missile from the Caltrops.
Nope.
And that's a...
That's lucky that it didn't explode. That should have exploded. BDAC, that should have exploded.
close miss as well. And another close miss. Switching to the other Wyvern.
They are so king lucky right now.
Another incoming missile from...
Did you see that luck? The missile passed again within blast range, didn't blow up.
the Four Hills. And that's a miss.
What's going on here?
The other Four Hills sent
No, that's
a
dead.
missile, and it's a direct hit. But the Wyvern seems
Doesn't
to be
look to have.
unaffected.
Okay,
It's
it still has
flying.
engines.
Switching back to the first Wyvern, it's still undamaged.
Okay, something I just realized, both these aircraft have been made to survive, mine haven't. Again, fair enough that I lost. That's gonna hit.
Caltrops making a run on the Manticores.
That's gonna hit.
This Caltrop switched to guns and it's firing. Oh!
Call it.
Ooh. Wyvern
gonna
hit.
hit.
Wyvern hit. It's shredded.
And see what I mean here. These engines were hidden deep in the fuselage. Why? I presume that this is to reduce the effectiveness of 8-9, since they can't lock on to the heat sources easily. It is very nice design if it's intended. If it's unintended, then it's probably not even meant to do that. Survives.
Pilot's trying to take back control of the Wyvern. It's being stubborn. It has no vertical stabilizers. Meanwhile, one of the Caltrops is firing at the Manticores. Incoming missile, and
Yep.
That's the end of the Wyvern. Just the two Manticore towers left.
These can aim their turrets. Why can they aim their turrets and I can't?
This Manticore is out of missiles, but the other one is still firing.
They aren't aiming their turrets either.
Another missile fired.
But
Looks
they
like
are
it has
locking
one
and
left.
now they've moved. Again, why were my turrets never moving?
Last missile away. And that missile's heading for the hills.
Haha, get it, because it's going towards the way of the 4 hills.
Caltrop sending its own missiles. Manticore shooting.
Nope.
And
Ooh.
that missile's dead. I
Well,
must have
fair
been
enough.
wrong. The other Manticore
Very last minute.
just fired a missile. Caltrop's making a high-speed run. Missile away. Manticores are both launching
Surely.
countermeasures.
They aren't going to survive that.
Goalkeeper's firing. Can it stop this missile?
Dead.
No! Manticore destroyed.
Oh,
It's
GG.
one Manticore left. Caltrop's fired a missile. It's
Dead.
incoming. Can it shoot it? No! And this one's dead too.
That's right there. That's right there. It took a 2-year break. And nevertheless won the competition. I mean, shows why Inter is the man to beat in this competition. Really does show why I constantly rate Inter.
Inter's Odyssey is the new PFC 10 champion. Congratulations, Inter. Great work on the Caltrops and 4 Hills. You deserve this win.
But why? Why is he so good? Well, gotta be honest here, mate. I spent a maximum of 4 or 5 hours on my plane. On my entry. Per entry, per plane, per thing. He probably spends more into the double figures. I'd estimate, yeah, way in excess of 10 hours. If he doesn't, that makes his engineering work all the more incredible. Why I spent less time on my planes, though, is that I tend to completely ignore AI tweaking because it's really frustrating to me. I really don't have anything with it. I just don't want anything to do with it. I have a few standard settings, but I don't even know if those benefit the plane or only making it worse. I really don't know. I just do something with the AI sometimes. But I can't tweak for the life of me.
Earned it. Well, that's
That said, though, again, the Charmeleon did need more speed.
the end of PFC 10. I'm already working on ideas for PFC 11, so stick around for announcements coming up soon.
I saw some ideas for PFC 11. Honestly, making one base for 100 parts and allowing it more stuff, more ordnance. To me, it sounds like a good solution, since, well, perhaps you could say that the focus is too much on the bases and that the bases can do a whole lot more than you might want. But then again, on the other hand, I really liked having to build bases and engineer that as well, even though I didn't spend much time on it, hence the weird missile turret thing. But I did like that you had to do that you had to make bases as well. And honestly, between CFC Season 5 and PFC 10, PFC 10 is the way better rule set. Probably because you spent months on it testing, whereas I need to rush this now. Basically, that was my reasoning for my shit rule set.
Thank you for watching, as always, and I'll see you next time, Curveliers.
I mean, I don't have anything other to say but GG to Inter, both on him beating me and him beating Sturmhauke. Again, rather surprised that Sturmhauke was beaten. But so was I with PFC 9 Chapter 1 when Flash Jab was beaten. I tend to pick the wrong planes to support for the win. I did have a sneaking suspicion that possibly the Charmeleon I could have been onto something, and I was close. Don't get me wrong, I was close, but, well, not close enough, obviously. Again, it generally needs more speed, because, I mean, speed also helps with missile dodging. As you might have noticed, in this entire video, I've been the only one with a single engine plane. And I should fix that. Should make it 2 engines, or just spam out tigers. Honestly, spam out tigers sounds like fun, but that's just going to put you way over the part limit. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the stream. We're taking a quick pee break, and then I'll decide if I'm going to make this rumored PFC 10 Ultimate Plane or not. Since, well, making PFC 10 the Ultimate Plane thing does sound a little bit appealing to me right now, but on the other hand, also to play Forza. So it's Forza RKSP. I think I'll go for Forza. That will end the stream then. Hopefully see you next time, and hopefully you'll check out CFC Season 5 as well. It's been a good stream. It's been a good PFC season. Looking forward to the next one.